Okay, sorry for that, it is on mute. Now it is okay. Now it is okay. Okay, thank you. So in section 2, that is the 4th, 5th and 6th units are comes into the section 2 part. Okay, in section 2, and that is then 4th unit related to the fundamentals of regenerative braking. Okay, so in this unit we are going to discuss energy consumption braking, braking power and energy. Okay, braking power and energy on front and rear wheels, braking systems of hybrid electric vehicles, and anti-brake systems, that is the ABS systems. That is the ABS system, ABS anti-lock braking systems. This is the small content which we are going to see in this 4th unit. Okay, as we know, the one of the most important features of electric vehicles, okay, and hybrid electric vehicles, okay, is the ability to recover the significant amounts of braking energy. So means what we can say, one of the most important feature of electric vehicles and hybrid electric vehicles. Okay, so how much as possible we have to recover the significant amount of energy. Okay, we have to get back the some amount of energy, that is called as the braking energy. Okay, that is called as the braking energy. Clear. The electric motors in electric vehicles and hybrid electric vehicles can be controlled to operate as a generator. To convert the kinetic or potential energy of the vehicle mass into the electric energy that can be stored in the energy storage and reused. Means what we can say here, the electric motors are one of the main important component in the electric vehicle as well as hybrid electric vehicle, as we know already. Okay, it can be controlled to operate as a generators. Okay, it can be controlled to operate as a generator as well as motors. Clear. So to convert the electrical energy into the mechanical energy for moving the vehicle. Okay, for moving the vehicle, the machine should be operated as a motor, and it should be convert the electrical energy to the mechanical energy. Okay, whenever the braking is applied, whenever if you want to get the some amount of energy back, whenever if you would like to get the back some amount of energy, in that cases, so we have to apply the regenerative braking concept. Okay, in the regenerative braking concept, okay, whatever we are using the machine, okay, whatever we are using the machine, that machine should be work as a generator. That machine should be work as a generator. It is clear, which will convert from kinetic energy into the electrical energy, and this electrical energy can be stored in the storage device, that is like a battery. Okay, in a battery we can store the energy, and that energy we can be reutilized, Clear. So the braking performance of a vehicle is undoubtedly one of the important factors to affect the vehicle safety. So everybody knows the braking performance of vehicle is one of the most important, and undoubtedly it is the most important factors to affect the vehicle safety. Clear. So in order to prevent the vehicles, so braking is one of the most important thing. There is no doubt at all to anyone. Okay, successfully designed braking system for a vehicle must always meet two distinct demands. Means a successful design braking system should be fulfill the two conditions, should be fulfill the two demands. Firstly, in emergency braking, it must bring the vehicle to rest in the shortest possible distance. Clear. So means first one, the braking system should be fulfill the two conditions. Okay, should be fulfill the two demands. But in that one, first one is when emergency braking is required, when emergency braking is applied, this braking system must be bring the vehicle to the zero speed. Okay, the braking system must be bring the vehicle to a zero speed, as well as, and the vehicle should be stopped in a nearest possible distance. Okay, for example, here we have applied, and the vehicle should be stopped at this position. Okay, here we have applied the braking, the vehicle should be stopped at this position. Clear? So, but in case the vehicle is stopped at this position, is there any useful? Is there any useful if a motor brake is applied at this point and it is stopped at this position, at this distance? This is the distance. There is no useful. It is clear, because our main intention, main goal is we have to stop the vehicle at this position only. Okay, nearest distance. As much as possible, we have to stop the vehicle at the nearest distance. Clear? So this is one of the main condition of the braking systems. Means braking system should be stop the vehicle, should be bring the vehicle speed to the zero, and it should be stopped as much as possible, very nearest distance, very nearest distance. So then only we can say the braking system is successfully operated. Okay, if we apply the braking one place and it is stopping at the very long, after long distance, after some time, so then there is no use. Okay, so if it is happening like that, the braking system is not working properly. Clear? So that is one of the main first demand. And second demand is that it must maintain the control. Second demand is nothing but, okay, it must maintain the control over the vehicle direction. The former requires the braking system to be able to supply the sufficient braking torque on all the wheels. The latter requires braking force to be distributed on all the wheels equally. So means what we can say here, this is first condition is the braking should be applied, and as much as possible in very nearest distances the vehicle should be stopped. Okay, the vehicle should be stopped. That is the first demand. Second demand क्या है? Whenever braking is applied, so braking is applied is nothing but the braking force is going to be developed. Okay, braking force is going to be creating, and this braking force should be distributed equally in all wheels of the vehicle. If the vehicle is having the 4 wheels or 12 wheels or 18 wheels, whatever, means simply if we can say 2 wheels are the front and 2 wheels are the rear. So means whenever the braking system is applied, so the braking force is developed, and this force should be distributed equally in all wheels. This force should be distributed all wheels. Clear? Is it clear? So means whatever the braking force is developed, that should be distributed in proper way in all wheels, front wheels as well as rear wheels. This is the second demand. This is the second demand. For example, if we are driving the wheel, we are driving the two-wheeler, we are driving the two-wheeler, and we are running this vehicle with a 80 to 100 kilometers per hour or 60 to 70 kilometers per hour. Clear? And you apply the braking. Okay, and you applied the braking, but only rear side vehicle braking force is created by you, and there is no force is created, there is no braking force created to the front wheel. So front wheel को कोई braking force create नहीं हुआ, and only braking force is applied to the rear wheel. So at this case, then what will happen? There is a chance to skip the vehicle. There is a chance to skip the vehicle because the braking force is not distributed equally. The braking force is not produced properly at the front wheels as well as rear wheels. It is clear. So that's why there is a chance to skip the vehicle if the braking force is not properly distributed at the front wheels as well as rear wheels. This is the second demand. Clear? So braking force is nothing but braking torque. Okay. So generally the braking torque is required is much larger than the torque that an electrical motor can produce. So obviously, so whatever we are getting the braking torque or braking force, so that should be greater than the torque which is produced by the electrical motor. Okay. So for example, if we are having the one load, okay, so how we can say, this is the one motor, this is load, okay, it is a motor and it is load, clear, and this motor is running the load, okay, this motor is running the load. So in this case, so to operate this load, the motor should be produce the torque, okay, the motor should be develop the torque, that is called as the TM, motor torque, okay, and this motor torque should be greater than the TL, load torque. This motor torque should be greater than the load torque, then only this motor can operate this load. Is it clear? So okay, so this is okay, but here in braking conditions, okay, whatever we are develop the braking force or braking torque, that should be greater than the TL, greater than the TM. Okay, load torque should be greater than the motor torque. Okay, if whenever the load torque is greater than the motor torque, so means this motor is not able to operate this load, he is not able to run this load. So automatically what will happening, the system is going to be shut down, the system is going to be shut down. Is it clear? So like the same in vehicle also, okay, whatever we are creating the braking force or braking torque, that should be greater than the motor torque, that should be greater than the motor torque. If motor torque is greater than the braking force, then what will happen? The vehicle will not be stopped. The vehicle will not be stopped. Still it is continuously running. Still it is continuously running. Is it clear? So that's why generally what we can say, whenever we are going to develop the braking torque or braking force, that should be greater than the motor torque. That should be greater than the motor torque. Then only we can bring the vehicle speed to the zero. Then only we can bring the vehicle speed to the zero. Clear? Next, generally the braking torque is required much larger than the torque that an electrical motor can produce. So already we have discussed this point. So in electric vehicle, hybrid electric vehicles, mechanically frictional braking system must coexist with the electrically regenerative braking. So means what we can say, whenever the electrical regenerative braking is required or applied, okay, so we have to consider the frictional uh, braking also. So whatever the force or whatever the losses, whatever the force is created, the frictional, so that force also we have to consider. Clear? So that proper design and control of the both mechanical and electrical braking system are major concerns. Clear? So energy consumption braking. Energy consumption in braking. So significant amount of energy is consumed by braking. So for example, we are having the 1500 kg vehicle. Whenever if we are having the 1500 kg vehicle and it is running 100 kilometers per hour, and it is running with a speed of 100 kilometers per hour, and it will consume about 0.16 kilowatt hour of energy. That is means what we can say, we are converting the mechanical energy, kinetic energy into the electrical energy. Okay, kinetic energy, how we can convert? So half into mv square, half into half into mv square. Okay, 0.5 into, okay, m into v square here. Clear? So here you can write the m suffix v, or also you can write m suffix v is nothing but vehicle mass, that is the 1500 kg. Okay, and v is nothing but here 0.5 into m into v square. Here v is nothing but velocity of the vehicle. Okay, speed of the vehicle. Clear? So this is the kinetic energy. So by using this, here we know the formula 1500 kg. The mass of the vehicle is 1500 kg, and the speed of the vehicle, that is 100 kilometers per hour. Okay, so by substituting these equations, we can get the some kinetic energy, and this kinetic energy is converted into the electrical energy in kilowatt hour. So means what we can say. So 1500 kg vehicle is running with the speed of 100 kilometers per hour. Okay, he is running with the speed of 100 kilometers per hour, and it will consume the energy 0.16 kilowatt hour, 0.16 kilowatt hour of energy. Clear? That is a few tens of meters, means in a less than 1 kilometers. Okay, this much of energy is required, is consuming the this much of energy is consumed by the vehicle. If vehicle is having the 1500 kg mass, 1500 kg weight, and 100 kilometers per hour speed. Clear? So if this amount of energy is consumed in a costing by only overcoming in the drags, so only overcoming the drags, that is the drags is nothing but resistance, means rolling resistance and dynamic aerodynamic drags, that is the skin effect, aerodynamic drag, that is the air, whatever the force, opposing force is created by the air, that is also one type of resistance. Clear? So rolling resistance is nothing but whatever the friction is opposing uh, between the tire of the vehicle and the surface of the road. Okay, there is a friction is present. Due to this friction also, the vehicle speed is going to be decreased. Okay, this is also one type of resistance. Clear? So already we have discussed in the second unit. Okay, aerodynamic drag, skin effect, rolling resistance, all these things we have seen already. Clear? So when the vehicles are driving with a stop and go pattern in urban areas, a significant amount of energy is consumed by the frequent braking, which result in high fuel consumption. So you can see the figure in below. I will show you. So the total traction energy and driven wheels energy is consumed by the drags, rolling resistance, and aerodynamic drag. Okay, and braking of 1500 kg passenger car. So what we can say here, when the vehicles are driving with a stop and go, so go and stop, like a urban areas is nothing but in cities. So in cities, generally the vehicles will start and stop. Is it right? Because due to the traffic and so on, etc. Due to the traffic, speed breakers, whatever. Clear? So that a vehicle is moving with a start and go, start and stop, or stop and go pattern. So insignificant amount of energy is consumed by the frequent braking. Means, generally whenever we are driving the vehicle in the cities, okay, or in urban areas, so generally we are applying the braking. So means whenever the braking is applied, the significant amount of energy will be consumed. Okay, some amount of energy will be consumed. Is it clear? So this is the wastage of energy. So which results in high fuel consumption. If in case it is a IC engine vehicle, it will take the more fuel. If it is an electric vehicle, it will take the more power. It will consume the more power. Clear? So this will be happening if the vehicle is moving in the cities or urban areas when the start and stop pattern. Clear? So also some amount of energy is also consumed by the some resistance, that is the rolling resistance or aerodynamic drag also. Clear? So here you can see the table also as well as figure, graph. Okay. In large cities such as New York, it may reach up to 70%. It is concluded that the effective reasonable braking can significantly improve the fuel economy of electric vehicle and hybrid electric vehicles. Why we are taking the New York? Because first the experiment is done in the USA. Okay, the first experiment is done in the USA, that is the start and stop movements in the cities and the highways. Okay, how the energy is consuming. Okay, all these are the conducted practicals in the USA. That is the FDP. I will show you. This is the FTP. FTP is nothing but Federal Testing Procedure, and 75. They have given number is 75. They have conducted the practical experiments. Okay, that is the given name for this Federal Testing Procedure, FTP 75. Okay, FTP 75 is nothing but the testing is procedure conducted in the urban areas. Okay, so like that. So that is conducted by the environmental EPA, Environmental Protection Agency, EPA by USA. Okay, Environmental Protection Agency. Okay, what they have conducted Federal Testing Procedure 75 means they have conducted some experiments on the vehicle when the moving in urban areas. Okay, the vehicle speed is going to different. Okay, so like for example, this is the speed. This is the speed, and this is the whatever you can say time, or so otherwise you can take the time. Otherwise we can take the time on x-axis and speed on y-axis. Okay, time on x-axis and speed on y-axis. Okay, if it is running the highways, generally the speed is increasing, unlike this, because in highways we will not apply any braking. Okay, only in a required necessary places. Okay, when it is required, then only we can apply the braking. Okay, if we are not applying the braking, the speed will be continuous or speed will be increasing. But it is not possible in the urban areas. But it is not possible in the urban areas, because in urban areas the vehicles movement is different. In urban areas, the vehicle movement is becoming different, like start and stop due to the traffic or speed breakers, and so due to the number of regions in the cities. Okay, like this, the vehicle speed is increases and again decreases, again totally become a zero. Okay, if any signals is occur, so we have to stop the vehicle. Okay, and again the speed is increasing, again speed increasing, decreasing, again going to be zero. Okay, increasing and zero, increasing and zero, like this, because it is moving the vehicle in the cities. तो जब आपको स्पीड को टाइम को ग्राफ ड्रा करना है तो ऐसे मिलेगा, ऐसे मिलेगा. It is clear. So the FTP means Federal Testing Procedure 75 in urban drive cycles. This is the FTP 75. FTP 75 urban driving cycles. Okay, or urban drive cycle. Okay, so when the vehicle is moving in this graph, in this situation, in this moment, or in this pattern, so the energy will be consumed, if that is in kilowatt hour. Okay, so traction on wheels का जो energy consume होता है that is very high. Okay, just wait 1 minute. Okay, means whatever the energy is consumed by the wheels, that is very high. Okay, and whatever the energy consumed by the drags, means to overcome the resistance, aerodynamic drag resistance and rolling resistance. Okay, and like this, so to overcome this resistance, it will take some amount of energy, it will consume some amount of energy. That energy will be showing like this. Okay, and whatever the energy is consumed by the braking, whatever energy is consumed by the braking, that will shows in here. Okay, means whatever the energy consumed by the wheels, that is very high, and whatever the energy consumed by the resistance to overcome the resistances, so that is in average middle of these two energies. Okay, and we are applying the braking, while braking also energy is consumed. Okay, but the in cities, whatever the energy is consumed by the braking, that is very less compared with the other two energies. Okay, in cities, whatever the energy is consumed by the braking, so that is less than the other two energies. That is whatever the energy consumed by the vehicle or wheels or drags. Clear? Because in cities the vehicle is moving with very low speed. The vehicle is moving with a low speed. So when the vehicle is moving low speed, obviously the energy we are applying the braking. That time, whatever the energy consumption is very also, that is also very less. Clear? That is also very less. That's why energy consumption by the braking is very less compared with the other two energies consumption by the vehicle as well as drags. And you can see here, so the maximum speed, average speed, total traction energy, and energy is consumed by the drags and braking per 100 km traveling distance in different drive cycles measured in drive wheels. Clear? Just wait. So maximum speed 86.4 kilometers per hour in urban. Okay, 97.7 kilometer per in highways. Clear? And in city, newer cities. Okay, so 44.6. Okay, 44.6 kilometers per hour. Clear? So average speed kilometer hour. This is the maximum speed, and this is the average speed. So this is the average speed, 27.9 kilometers per hour, 79.3 kilometers per hour. Okay, and like this 77.5, 49.9, and 12.2. So total traction energy. Traction energy is consumed 10.47 kilowatt hour, 10.45 kilowatt hour highways. Clear? Okay, and city means different places they have conducted the results and they have observed how much energy is consumed. Okay, by the traction energy, and the total energy consumed by the drags means drags is nothing but hello. Okay, so energy consumed by the to overcome the resistances like friction resistance, rolling resistance, and aerodynamics, and so on, etc. Okay, so this much of energy is consumed. Total energy consumed by the braking. Okay, while applying the braking for applying the braking also energy will be consumed. In urban areas 4.52, in highways 0.98. Clear? Okay, this is the average total energy consumed by the braking in cities. Obviously, in compared with the highways, we are applying the braking very less. Okay, so sorry, compared with the urbans, in highways we are applying the braking that is very less. So while applying the very less times of braking, so energy consumption is also less. Energy consumption by the braking is also less. That's why in highways, whatever the energy is consumed by the braking, that is very less. In urban areas, whatever the energy is consumed by the vehicle in urban areas, that is very high. Clear? So percentage of braking energy to the total energy. So percentage of braking energy to the total traction energy. Braking energy 4.52 divided by 10.47. Okay, that is equal to 0.43 into 100 percentage में calculate करना, that is equal to 43%. That is equal to 43%. Means percentage of braking energy to the traction energy. कितना है इन दोनों के बीच में percentage निकालेंगे तो sorry इन दोनों के बीच में percentage निकालो तो कितना 43.17. In the case of highways, the energy is consumed by the vehicle 10.45 and energy consumed by the braking in highway 0.98. So percentage of this 9.38. Clear? So means in highways, the percentage of the braking energy to the traction energy is very less than the energy percentage of the braking energy to the total traction energy in the urban areas. Clear? So from this what we can conclude, energy consumption in the urban areas is very high. Okay, from this point, energy consumption in the urban areas is very high compared with the highways. Clear? So for example, by using this graph, so also we can draw the graph of highways. Clear? So highway में कैसे लिख सकते हैं? Like this. Okay, like this, because in highways speed will not become a zero. Speed will not become a zero until and unless if you apply the braking. Okay, until and unless if you want to stop the vehicle, otherwise the speed will not become a zero. Clear? Means speed may be increases and decreases. Speed may be increase and decreases, but it will not become a zero because there is no need to stop the vehicle on the highways. Okay, and until and unless if you want to require to stop the vehicle, like this. Okay. So by the front and rear wheels in typical drive cycles is helpful in design the reasonable braking systems. Initially assuming that the braking distribution on the front and rear wheels follows the curve one. Okay. Refer to the chapter 2, means already we have discussed in the characteristics of the aerodynamic drag and rolling resistance characteristics in the chapter 2, that curve we have to follow. So but no need to see here. Okay, ignoring the vehicle drags, the braking force on the front and rear wheels can be expressed as okay, the braking forces on the front and rear wheels. Okay, FB is nothing but braking force. Okay, FBF is nothing but braking force of the front wheel. That is, by using this formula, we can calculate the braking force of the front wheel, that is equal to J into MV upon by L into LB plus HG by G into J. HG by G into J. Clear? So here FBF we already seen braking force of the front wheel, that is equal to J into MV. Here J is nothing but de-acceleration of the vehicle in meters per second square. Okay, de-acceleration of the vehicle in meters per second square. De-acceleration of next MV is nothing but mass of the vehicle. MV is nothing but mass of the vehicle. Clear? So and L is nothing but here total length between the front and rear wheels. Here this is the total length, means at the middle of the front wheel, middle point of the front wheel, Okay, this point to the and middle point of the rear wheel. So whatever the length is there, so between this front wheel and rear wheel, so this this length we have taken here. That is the meaning of this L. L is nothing but here length of the center point of the front wheel to the center point of the rear wheel. Clear? Into LB. LB is nothing but here. What is the LB? You can see here from this picture. So already we have discussed this diagram in the second unit, but again I take this picture from that PPT. LB is nothing but here. So wherever the total mass of the vehicle is exist, okay, wherever the total mass of the vehicle is exist, for example, the total mass of the vehicle is exist at this point, okay. So the length between this point to the center point of the rear wheel, okay, this length can be represented by the LB, okay, that is the ALB. So LB is nothing but here length of the vehicle between the where the center point, where the total mass is exist, okay, from that point to the center point of the rear wheel, center point of the rear wheel, plus HG. HG is nothing but this is the height. This is the HG. The height between the surface of the road to the where the total mass is present on the vehicle. Total mass कहाँ पर present है? From that point to surface of the road. This is the height between the where the total mass of the vehicle is exist and surface of the road. Okay, that height is represented by the HG. That height is represented by the HG, and we know the G is the gravitational force and J is the deceleration velocity in meters per second square. Okay, using this formula we can easily find out the braking force of the front wheel. Braking force of the front wheel. Like the same way, braking also we can calculate the braking force of the rear wheel. Braking force of the rear wheel. So how we can calculate the braking force of the rear wheel? So same formula we can use, but just only one parameters it is going to be changes. FBR is equal to braking force of the rear wheel is equal to J into MV upon by L into LB minus LA minus HG by small g into capital J. HG by small g into capital J. Same formula, just only here the plus will be changes to the minus. Okay, and LB is replaced by the LA. LB is replaced by the LA. Here LA is nothing but here. LA is nothing but here. This is the length between the LA is nothing but this is the length between the where the total mass of the vehicle is exist. Okay, same point where the total mass of the vehicle is exist. From that point to center point of the front wheel. So this length can be represented by the LA. This length can be represented by LA. So this L we are going to take here. Clear? So front wheel जब calculate करते हैं back wheel का length लेने का whenever we are going to calculate the braking force of the rear wheels, we have to take the length of this front wheel. So just oppositing. Clear? And यहाँ पे plus and यहाँ पे minus. This is the small changes for calculating the braking force of the front wheel and braking force of the rear wheel. Clear? So these are the graphs. Okay, FTP urban drive cycles, that is the vehicle speed to the and acceleration, deceleration. Okay, obviously speed accelerate or deaccelerate होते इधर urban areas में. Okay, this graph and this graph is the same. Okay, next. So energy consumption. Braking force versus vehicle speed. So braking force versus vehicle speed. When the vehicle is moving the 0 to 20 kilometers per hour, the braking force we have to apply very high. Okay, braking force we have to apply very high. Okay, up to 40 kilometers. For stopping the vehicle, we have to apply the braking force, and this force is very high compared to the other speed. And when the vehicle is running with the 60 to 80 kilometers per hour, when the vehicle is running with the 60 to 80 kilometers per hour, that cases, if you want to apply the if you want to apply the braking, so we should apply the braking force. Okay, this force is very less compared with the when the vehicle is running with the 20 to 40 kilometers kilometer speed per hour. Okay, 20 to 40 kilometers speed per hour. And again, it somewhat is going to increase when the vehicle speed is more than the 80 kilometers per hour. Okay, like the same way, this is the front wheel. Okay, this is the front wheel, this is the rear wheel. So means always, in order to stop the vehicle in a proper way, in order to stop the vehicle in a proper way, so always we have to create the braking force at the front wheel is more than the braking force at the rear wheel. So that we have to keep it in our mind. Clear? So means we should apply the more braking force. We should create the more braking force at the front wheel compared with the compare with the rear wheels. Clear? So that's why this is the front wheels braking force, and this is the rear wheel braking force. You can see here. So near about we are going to apply we are going to create the braking force 0.8 to 1. But here rear wheels का braking force कितना create करना है अपन को 0.4 to 0.7 किलो न्यूटन्स rear wheel का. Okay. Next. This is the vehicle speed, braking power. So obviously, whenever we are going to apply the braking, so we should need create to braking force. So for that, we need to take some energy. Okay, we need to spend some amount of power that is called as the braking power. Okay, so whenever the already we have seen whenever the vehicle is running with the 20 to 50 kilometers per hour, so in that cases the braking power is very high at the front wheels. Okay, and next the braking power is somewhat less when the vehicle is running with the 60 to 80 kilometers per hour. Okay, and then little bit it will be increases when the vehicle is increasing the vehicle speed is running. Sorry, vehicle speed is 80 kilometer more than the 80 kilometers per hour, more than the 80 kilometers per hour. So like the same here also are the rear wheels. So obviously, if the braking force in the front wheel is less, sorry, in the braking force in the front wheels is very high. So obviously, braking force, braking power of the front wheels also very high. Okay, if the braking force in the rear wheels is less compared with the front wheels, obviously, so the braking power is also less at the rear wheels. The braking power is also less braking power is required at the rear wheels. Next, like the same braking energy. Okay, energy, braking power, braking force, clear, and the vehicle speed versus time, clear. So like the same here also. Obviously, the whenever we are applying the braking, uh, the front wheel will require the more energy compared with the rear wheels. Okay, the front wheels will consume the more energy compared with the rear wheels because we have to create the more force, more braking force of the front wheels, and we have to create the less braking force of the rear wheels compared with the front wheel. That is what I'm saying. Clear? So obviously the braking energy of the front wheel is very high, and the braking energy of the rear wheels is somewhat less than the this one front wheel, and it is different for the different speeds of the vehicle. This braking energy is also different for different speed of the vehicles. So these are the uh, simple braking force, braking energy, braking power, and speed versus time of the FTP 75 urban area, FTP 75 drive cycles in urban areas. Okay, this is conducted by the FTP. FTP means nothing but Federal Test Procedure. FTP is nothing but Federal Test Procedure. Okay, conducted by the USA. That is the EPA, Environmental Protective Agency. This results or this testing is conducted by the EPA, Environmental Protective Agency. That is USA government. Just wait, I will take the attendance. Just wait, we'll take the attendance. One two five seven nine 12579 10 13 15 10 13 15 17 18 20 17 18 20 21 22 23 21 22 23 24 25 24 25 27 29 27 29 30 35 30 35 36 37 36 37 38 40 46 38 40 46 49 55 59 55 61 64 61 64 65 69 65 69 71 71 73 74 28. Total 35 students are present.